Hello everyone, this is Tom Worth Jr. Welcome back to the channel, and today I wanted to talk about Trump's destructive obsessions. They were on full display the other night at the debate, but this has defined him since his first run, going back to 2015. Just the staged crowds. He's obsessed with crowd size, and we make fun of it now. It's funny, haha. Remember, I don't know if you remember or not, I had a Marcus Aurelius quote about the things you think about determine the quality of your mind. That was the first part of the quote, and then coloring your soul. But the things you think about determine the quality of your mind. What does Donald Trump think about? He thinks about crowd sizes. He always has, from when he paid people to come in to his hotel and come down and announce his candidacy for presidency. I remember, we would go visit the family back at Cuca Lake in upstate New York, and I was up there at that time. It was 2015, and he had the announcement, and we were laughing. Everyone was. Nobody took it serious. Nobody took him serious. It was such a joke. And you had people like Jeb Bush. They were trying to get him out of Florida and get him to continue the family dynasty. But there are so many Republican candidates just going for it. Because Obama had to step down. He had served 2 terms, and you had, they were just salivating to run against Hillary Clinton. All these Republicans were, and then you had Donald Trump throw his hat in the ring, and it was laughable, and it was just funny. And from the very start, he stages a larger crowd than would have naturally been there. I think it was employees of his company, maybe. I forget who it was, but it was pretty commonly known that not that many people were there, unless he got them there. So, there is something called projection. I'm sure you've heard of it. You know what it is. It is when you take the thing you're doing, the bad or negative thing that you are doing or thinking about, and projecting it onto someone else as they're going to do this. And it's something Trump has always done. It is any bad thing that he's accusing the Democrats of, that's because they've been trying to figure out how to do it themselves. So when he instantly attacks Kamala Harris about you're bussing people in, you're paying people to be there, it's of course because that's what he would do. That's what they've been looking into doing. He can't accept reality. So, do you think Kamala Harris is obsessed with the size of her crowds? Absolutely not. Do you get something out of it? Do you get something out of 1,000 people seeing you rather than 4 people seeing you, or 50? Yeah, absolutely. But is that the point of your entire existence, like it is with Trump? No, it isn't with her. Go back to the shooting in Pennsylvania this summer, and you had overhead shots of just kind of the field they were in. And when the shot's tight, like you can see me, I'm kind of tight, and you can't see all the stuff around me. You have no idea about any of the environment around me. You can only see the frame of the camera. So, they do this all the time. Everyone does. You frame it to look good. But the overhead shots, which we had a lot of because of what happened that day, there wasn't, it was just like it looked like a little fair with an elementary school bake sale or something, with someone up on a podium holding up a pie, or I don't know. It just didn't look like a presidential rally a few months out before the election. And this is why he's so obsessed with it, because he knows nobody's coming to see him anymore. You remember back to 2015, but really 2016, these arenas would be full. I remember I was working in downtown Dallas at the time, and you had the AAC, and people were just, I mean, people would go to see him. And it was a spectacle. You didn't know what he was going to say. And every we didn't have 9 years worth of his lunacy under our belt at that point. So every single appearance presented something new, possibly. It's been years since he's been able to do that, and it really gets under his skin. Why is this destructive? Well, not just because it determines the quality of his mind. Like when you're obsessing about something, it pushes everything else out of your brain. You can only focus on that thing you're obsessing over. And that's why when she would put something in his head about the crowd size, he couldn't get it out of his brain. And he kept coming back to it with questions that he should have been just trying to hammer her on. He would change the subject back to it because he's obsessed with it. So who else is obsessed with sizes of crowds? Who's obsessed with military parades? Dictators. Going back to Roman emperors, they love crowds. They love having troops parading in front of them, for the emperor, for the king, for Mussolini, for Hitler. These fascists who, I know I've mentioned Madeleine Albright's book called About Fascism before. She just wrote it a few years ago. She came over from Europe. She came over from where the Iron Curtain was coming down. She knows a thing or two about fascists. She has studied it. She looks at the rise of Mussolini in Italy, and then the rise of Hitler in Germany, who modeled himself after Mussolini. Mussolini was kind of his hero. That's why he was so annoyed that Italy was so inept in World War II as one of his Central Axis partners. Really the main one before Japan came along. He modeled his own rise, and this is what Trump has done, because you don't operate from a position of a majority when you're a person like this. You have a majority of a minority. You have the biggest slice of something. So that's why when Trump could get 35% of Republicans during all the primaries and could never really get more than that, that was enough because no one else was close to a third like he was. This is what enables fringe people like Mussolini and Hitler and Trump to rise to power eventually, because you get past your prelims and eventually you're playing for the whole thing. This is the disturbing thing, obviously. He's always modeled himself after the out of the face fascist playbook. So his unhealthy obsession with crowds does two bad things. It keeps him from thinking of anything else, and it is to play to his fascist tendencies. He needs people to love him, to adore him, to fet him, to celebrate him. This is what he craves. This is what he needs. Does Kamala Harris require that? No. What is she thinking about? She's thinking about her policies. She's thinking about, how can I get the American people to vote for me? This is not what he's thinking of. He's thinking of, how can I get less people to be able to vote? This is gerrymandering. This is what Republicans are always being shot down in some courts over. This is redistricting around all of the minority votes and trying to draw this weird shape around all the minorities in an area and put them in one district. That way they all get one vote, and then everybody else gets all the other votes. It is repeatedly struck down and sent back to states to redraw their maps. And still they persist. But the Republicans have always been brazen about this. Their strategy is to reduce voter turnouts, reduce people eligible to vote. That's what this budget bill extension fight is over right now with Mike Johnson, who is Trump's acting person in charge while Trump is out of office. This is why he's trying to attach the proof of citizenship to vote bill. I don't know about you, but am I carrying around proof of citizenship? Yeah, I am. I have a driver's license. Not everybody has a driver's license. We won't even get into that. That's another video. His unhealthy obsessions with crowds. So it keeps him from thinking about good things, and it makes him only think about this. And this is the disturbing part. This is what his handlers want. They want him to just fixate on this thing. And hey, you leave the rest to us. We will build your platform. We will figure out how to subvert the Constitution. We will figure out how to do what we want to do. It's like a parent with the kid. It used to be you'd put them over in front of the TV and here, watch TV. We're going to do grown-up things now. Or an iPad. Eventually those came along. And you would see that and you would feel kind of bad for the kid because you knew that the parents were just completely ignoring him. But hey, he looks to be entertained enough. He's not crying. It's probably fine for an hour or two. That's what they're doing. That's what they did for 4 years in the White House. They just go, oh, hey, look, a TV's on, Donnie. And he'd go wander over there and stand or sit in front of the TV for, next thing you know, a whole day's gone by. And he's watched everything. And this was on full display also the other night when he kept having these conspiracy theories. This is his other destructive obsession. These are the two that I want to talk about today. Crowd size and conspiracies. He lives in his own echo chamber. We've always known this. He won't. This is what people surround themselves with yes men. Obama didn't do this. He just, he wanted to figure things out. Couldn't figure everything out, tried. Trump only wants to hear yes men. So he says things, they're ridiculous, then the right-wing media picks up on it, then he watches it because they're playing what he made up or talked about, and it's just this cycle. This is your soul takes on the color of your thoughts part of Marcus Aurelius' thing. This is turning him into a dark person, a dark-souled person. This is turning him full of fear, full of hate, full of vitriol. It's just happened in front of our very eyes over the last 9 years. And he's gone from the guy who says crazy things to because he knows there's some people that actually believe that and will vote for it, to actually believing it himself. So when he's saying things that make no sense to any sane mainstream person, talking about Springfield, a town of Springfield with Haitian immigrants eating dogs. When he first was talking about eating dogs, I didn't know what he was talking about, but then I quickly got up to speed on it. You're just putting them in front of the TV and then letting your Miller or Bannon and whoever figure out how they're going to wreck America and wreck our democracy. So the conspiracy theories, he's going to keep latching on to them. She laughs at them. I laugh at them. As I saw from my comments, that video about the debate I had, these people are in it deep. I mean, pretty deep. And so is Trump. So he is now one of the people he was trying to hoodwink back in 2016. He is now one of those people. And we're not looking forward to what could happen if he gets in, but I'm pretty sure this obsession mentality of his, this disorder, let's call it what it is going to be the thing that allows her to just distance as these last 7 weeks and 5 days go on. Um, I really hope they get another debate. In the meantime, his handlers will probably try to keep his camera time to a minimum. They'll keep the shots tight on him. There will be no energy. There will be no people. Even over here in Arlington, I used to see during his first term, I used to see over in front of the Harley Davidson dealer over on I-20, just random times, like on a weekend or maybe a weeknight evening, there would just be people there on the access road, just kind of off to the side, just like huge Trump flags, huge everything. They've got their bikes and they're just hanging out. There might be, I don't know, 15, 20 people. And I was just going, well, what are these people doing? They were excited about Trump. And I just thought it was so weird, but I knew it existed. You never see that anymore. You just don't. It's just, the enthusiasm isn't there like it was back in 2016 through 2020. And then for the big lie stuff immediately following into 2021, it's not there. It is for some, but not enough to get him elected, I don't think. So I hope. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. Why, when you have the obsessions, really any obsession is unhealthy, but his obsessions are just destructive. And we know what the root of them is, and it is a very bad root indeed. And I just think it helps to go in and understand this a little bit. So read Madeleine Albright. She'll fill you in. All right. That's it for today. We will talk tomorrow.